Hey guys, just a quick heads up, there's some crackling and popping on my audio track this week. I am so sorry. Unfortunately, I could not remove it from the audio track, so you'll have to grin and bear it, and or if it annoys the heck out of you, I don't blame you if you skip this week's show. I probably would have trashed the show had we not missed last week, so hopefully it isn't too bad and you can still enjoy the show. Once again, sorry about that. I won't let it happen again. I'm sorry. Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 124. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
Mr. Dane Cody.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We're back. We had a little hiatus there.
Yeah, we did. That was my fault.
That's all right. You were enjoying a little vacation.
Yeah.
So welcome back, everyone. Thanks for your patience. I was too busy to come up with anything or bother anyone for guest recording. I just needed some time off. Destiny. I was really busy and couldn't find time to record anything. And Dane was taking a vacation, so I took one too.
Sweet.
If you didn't know or are new to the show, welcome. For those of you who are returning listeners, you obviously know what is coming up next. We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. And this week, we got a little bit of TGS. A whole lot of, I assume, Disneyland and Universal, because that's where Dane just was.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Oh, man, I was, spying on you on Instagram and Twitter, and...
Yeah.
Usually I'm always the one that's there.
I know.
But I don't post a lot when I'm there. I'm really bad when I travel, because just wrangling kids and wives and family, and just... But you did a good job of posting pictures. It was fun watching you.
Yeah, man, I tried to, bring some people along for the ride if they want.
I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
I've been there before, so it just reminded me
how good it was.
Yeah. You're not a huge... well, me and my wife are obviously, if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know we're Disney nuts. I think we're there at least once a year. And obviously we're total theme park freaks, but... You guys are, yes, not known. I don't know. This is your first time, isn't it, with your wife?
Well, yeah. When I went to Disney World when I was a kid. My wife, she actually used to go to school in California, so she'd been to Disneyland a bunch of times. But that was a long time ago, and neither one of us had been to Universal Studios. So this year we were talking about going on vacation. The last couple of years that we've been going on vacation for our anniversary, which tends to be the end of September, happens to almost always with us go to Hawaii. So we were like, why don't we go someplace different this year? And she ended up getting really good flights to LA. So we went down there. We got a good deal on hotel, all that good stuff. And so we decided, let's theme park it up. And it had been probably in the realm of probably close to 7 or 8 years since she had been to Disneyland. So the last time she was there, they didn't even have the California Adventure, wasn't even built yet.
Oh, yeah.
So that was all new for her.
A while.
Yeah. So yeah, so it was cool.
California Adventure's been around for a while now.
I know. So yeah, so we were both like, you know what, we both are huge Disney fans in our household, and we were like, man, I can't believe we've never done Disneyland yet. We should change that. And then I was like, if we're gonna go do that, I want to go to Universal Studios too.
Of course, yeah.
And she was like, you do know that that's nowhere near Disneyland, right?
It's just a shuttle ride.
And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'll order the shuttle. Let's go. So initially she was kind of not super on board with the Universal Studios idea, And then she found out that Harry Potter Land was at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And she was very into the idea after that. So yeah, I know it was super cool. We ended up, there was a bit of a mix up with our tickets. We purchased like our Disneyland passes through like a third party. And when we got to the gate, they had essentially told my wife like the wrong information, and they couldn't get our Disneyland passes to us. And so we were like, after trying and fighting, and like we were showing them like, look, this is our receipt. Like we paid for our freaking tickets. Like, and they're like, we're sorry. Like there's no way that we can pull them up without this other information. And we're like, well, we can't get that right now. So anyways, they ended up.
What site was it?
It was through like a points card type of a thing. Anyways, it was like through Expedia, but it was through like travel points through Expedia. Like it was kind of anyways, it was just weird because like you'd click on the email to like pull up, like it said like click here to print your tickets. So you'd click there and it would take you to another page that just said, we're sorry, there's an error on our side. Please try again later. So we couldn't print our tickets.
So you guys never printed them ahead of time, and then their server happened to be down when you were freaking there trying to use them.
Well, my wife called them, and she asked, and they said, oh, don't worry about it. All they need is your credit card that you purchased the tickets on. They can scan that, and they'll be able to pull your tickets up, blah, blah, blah. My wife was like, okay, sounds good. So she didn't really worry about it. So then we showed up at the park, and they were like, yeah, without essentially those barcodes, we can't print you your tickets. So anyways, after wasting a whole bunch of time at the window, one of the like managers came over and she's like, look, I'm going to give you a complimentary pass for the day and come back tomorrow with the information that you guys need, and we'll print you your 3-day passes and you'll have 3 more days for your trouble.
Man, that's pretty awesome.
So it's super cool. I mean, we wasted like a bunch of time on our first day, which was kind of a bummer, but it ended up working out because we got a free day for free. Like,
it sure as hell beat going back to the hotel and trying to phone and do internet and bullshit. And
oh yeah, totally. So yeah,
well, that's annoying, but wow, it worked out.
So we were planning on doing 3 days at Disneyland and a day at Universal.
Look at that! Both members of the podcast have gotten free days at Disneyland.
There you go.
Man, Disney loves us.
Yeah. So we did 4 days at Disneyland and a day at Universal. So yeah, no, it was super cool. We're staying pretty close by.
Did you guys just do the parks? Did you do anything else while you were down there?
Well, we were only down there we were there from Sunday to Sunday. So that only left us with 1 day off. So like we flew in Sunday afternoon. We actually went down to like downtown Disney and like hung out in that area. Yeah, you guys just
chilled because that day was already wasted.
Exactly. Then we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at Disneyland. Then we'd already pre-purchased like our shuttle tickets and stuff for Universal Studios for Thursday. And then we thought we were going to have Friday, Saturday as sort of like chill days, maybe go to the beach or something. But because we got the extra day at Disneyland, we went back. We took Friday off and then went back to Disneyland on Saturday and then flew out, came home on Sunday.
Nice.
So yeah, man, we pretty much did Disneyland. Like that place is dope. We had so much fun, man.
Yeah, I love it.
It was honestly like we had a blast. Like there's a lot of strollers there though.
The stroller parking, there's a lot of strollers.
Man, so many strollers.
I'm gonna probably piss some people off right now. And I'm sorry, but the thing that I hate about Disneyland is all the people abusing the handicap freaking line cutting. That is the most annoying. They don't seem to do it at Disney World. I don't notice it at Disney World. But
really?
Man, do I ever notice it at Disneyland. Like people with there's nothing wrong with them. They're just in a mobility stroller. And then they get their whole family to skip the whole lineup. It just seems like a really douchey thing to do. If you need one and you're legit, fine But man, there's a lot of people that I see them in the smoke pit, and then they're like walking around and they're all fine, and then they're like jumping on their little mobility stroller and essentially using it as a Disney hack to skip the line. It's,
right.
I find there's just so many people that do that, and that really pisses me off, especially when I get stuck in line. But anyway, sorry.
We didn't notice that too much when we were there.
I notice it all the time. I don't know why.
We were pretty lucky because, as we learned, middle of the week, definitely when you want to be there.
Yeah, and everyone's back in school now, too, which probably helps, too.
We didn't realize that there's a whole bunch of schools in Southern California that are all-year schools. They go to school all like the whole year. And they get out. They have a 3-week summer vacation, quote-unquote vacation, at the same time that we went to Disneyland.
Oh, so it wasn't totally dead.
And then on top of that, we completely forgot that it was one of the biggest Jewish holidays of the year that was happening halfway through.
Oh, it's
halfway
like New Year's,
our
right?
week. Yeah, I can't remember the exact name of it.
Neither can I, but
it's
I'm
like,
pretty sure it's like Jewish New Year's.
It's like a huge Jewish holiday. So between those two things, like Monday was surprisingly busy. Tuesday was great. Like it was super chill and quite dead. Wednesday was great as well. But man,
oh yeah, Saturday. You should have gone Friday, not Saturday.
The reason we went Saturday is because we had a Magic Morning. So Magic Morning allowed us to get in an hour early.
Yeah.
And we couldn't use it on Friday, and the only other day that we were able to use it was the Thursday, which we had already booked for Universal. So we were like, well, let's use our Magic Morning on Saturday.
So how did you get that? Because of your hotel?
It's like our tickets. It was like the ticket package that my wife bought. They were 3-day passes.
Usually you only get that if you stay at a Disney hotel.
I don't know. We
get that every time we go. We get Magic Mornings and evenings like every day and night when we're down there.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that our 3-day passes included...
That must have been... Yeah. I didn't know they sold passes with that availability.
Yeah. So it included one Magic Morning, and they were park hopper passes. So we were constantly like back and forth between the two parks.
Yeah. That's not too hard to do that.
No.
So...
And then Universal was fucking rad.
Universal's pretty cool.
Universal really liked Harry Potter World. That was super cool.
You guys, I noticed. Did you get a wand or just your wife?
My wife got a wand.
Every time we go there, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a wand. I'm gonna get a wand. I don't get it, and then I always get sad.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It's pretty cool. You get a wand, and then there's all these different areas around the Harry Potter world that you can stand at, and they're interactive. And so you can like do the different like spells. You essentially like cast the spells.
Did she just buy one, or did you guys do the whole experience of? Oh no,
we did the whole experience. We went into the wand shop and we went through the whole thing, and it was cool. It was super fun. We did like the Harry Potter rides. We had some butterbeer.
I've never had the butterbeer. Is it good?
It's kind of like a cream soda with like a bit of fuzz on top, like buttery fizz on top.
It tastes like cream soda then.
That's the best way that I can describe it. Like it's got this like thick kind of foam on top that looks like beer, but the foam is like really buttery flavor. Like it's kind of buttery flavor, and then underneath the liquid itself tastes a lot like cream soda.
So it's not alcoholic, obviously.
No. Because
I've never had it because I look at it and I'm like, it looks weird. I'm like,
you should try it. It's good.
It's like yellow. And
I really liked it.
That fizz or froth on the top. And
if you do it, don't drink it with the straw. Drink it like out, because then you get a little bit of the foam, which has got the butter flavor and the drink in it. So whereas when you drink it with the straw, you miss out on that kind of buttery foam flavor, and it kind of messes. It's not as good.
Well, next time I go, I'll make sure to get some, and I'll get my bloody wand.
Yeah, man, do your wand.
That ride's pretty cool.
We did the Transformers ride, which was super dope. One of the coolest, like I being a huge Transformers fan, I was a huge fan and I loved the crap out of it. We did that one twice.
Yeah. You know what the trick is for that ride? I don't know how busy it was, but me and my wife always go in the single rider line. And we always end up usually getting to sit in the same vehicle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. The lines weren't too bad. It was like 20 minutes or something like that when we were there for that one in particular. We found at Universal that the lines would get, it was weird, a lot more so than Disneyland. At Universal, we noticed that like one line would be like an hour or more, and then all of a sudden like you'd walk by that line like later on in the day and it would be 10 minutes. Like it was really, we were kind of surprised with the lines at Universal that were like that, because there was the Harry Potter one at one point in the day was like over 90 minutes, and we were like, holy crap, like that's crazy. And then later on, after we went and did like the Transformers ride and we did the Mummy ride, and then we finished the we did the studio tour, and we like wandered by there after we grabbed some food in Harry Potter Land, and it was like 25 minutes, and we were like, okay,
awesome.
That's sweet. So we just like swung into there and ended
on
it
the
then.
studio tour. Did it have a Fast and Furious thing, or is there a Fast and the Furious ride, or it's just the Fast and the Furious experience on the studio tour?
So there was a Fast and the Furious experience and a Jurassic Park experience,
and that was just part of the studio tour.
Yeah. So you do.
So they updated it. I remember when we went on it last time we went to Universal, it was King Kong, and it's like that almost 360 video around the trolley inside the building, and it's rocking around, and King Kong was fighting like
Sorry, you're totally right. It was King Kong. It was King Kong and Fast and the Furious.
It was King Kong fighting the T-Rexes?
Yep.
Okay, so that's the same. So the Fast and Furious stuff is new, though.
Yeah. It was similar. It was like similar idea to the King Kong one. You're in like the trolley, and it's like a 360 with the glasses, and like it's like almost like 4D where there's like liquids squirting at you, and it was super neat. My wife had never like done a studio tour or anything like that. It's like, so it was super neat. She
were they
really
actually
liked
filming
it.
anything?
We weren't able to go into a couple places. We're during the down, like in the New York set, because they're actually filming some stuff.
They were filming some Power Ranger stuff when we were there.
Oh, interesting.
And we saw, according to someone in the cart next to us, it was the Pink Ranger.
Oh.
She was standing off to the side and just chilling with some people.
That's interesting, because that was filmed up here.
They were really excited. And not the new Power Rangers, like the shitty...
Oh, like the TV show.
The old school, like, TV show.
Oh, interesting.
Well, not old school, but...
Yeah,
whatever.
Like one of the
TV shows.
I can see that.
Movie.
Yeah, that would make sense. That was filmed.
It was funny.
So yeah, we did that. That was super cool. We also did the Waterworld stunt show, which was fucking awesome. It was
I remember
so cool. That one was neat. That one was super, super neat.
Some of those shows are quite cool.
Yeah. So no, Universal was really cool. We had a really dope time there.
You guys did the Simpsons ride?
We didn't get a chance to. No, I know. We actually wish we had 2 days at Universal.
The Simpsons. I don't know. I've never needed 2 days there, but did you pay for the skip the line thing?
No, we didn't. No, it was
it
was $80 extra.
I know it's expensive
per ticket. And we were like...
I don't think it was that expensive when we went last, so we got it. I think it was only like a $30 upgrade.
Yeah, see, for that, if it would have been 30, we probably would have done it. But at 70, we were like...
That's like almost... Yeah, that's literally like pretty much almost double your ticket, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just over $100 for admission there.
Yeah, if you buy them online, you save like $15. I think it was like $105 per ticket or something.
Yeah,
we purchased online the day before, so...
We haven't been to Universal in a while. The last time we went was... I can't remember, but... Probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. We really like
Florida side.
Definitely. See, we've never done the... I want to do the Universal in Florida because I've heard that there's more there. Like, it's quite a bit bigger.
Well, they have the Fantasy Island or whatever the hell they call it, which is like... It's like two parks, kind of like Disneyland California Adventure, right next to each other.
Yeah.
But that's where they have the Marvel Island, or like the Hulk ride and Spider-Man, and
I know.
the Tower of Doom, or whatever the hell it's called.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Towers of Doom, we did the Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Disneyland, and my wife was not a fan.
She didn't like the free fall sensation.
She did not like it at all. We got off that ride, and she was like not a happy camper for a while.
White knuckled.
Yeah, no.
I love that ride.
I liked it a lot too. I thought it was super cool.
I don't even hold on.
And we did the roller coasters, all the usual stuff.
Did you guys do Toy Story?
Yep. You shoot the little blasters. And,
yeah, that one's fun.
That one was fun. We did the Star Tours twice. So we did
Star Tours is awesome.
Star Tours was really cool, which is the Star Wars.
Was it the same for you both times, or
no?
was it
we
different?
Got two different ones.
What did you get? Every time I swear to God, the last 4 times when I went to Disneyland, because I went to Disneyland. Man, I'm an asshole. I went to Disneyland and Disney World this year.
Yeah, you're a jerk.
I just realized that.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot about E3 and going there.
Yeah.
I swear the last 4 times I've done Star Tours, it's always been the fucking ice. Hoth planet is the first section.
Yeah.
And then stupid Naboo for the second one. And I'm like, okay, there's no randomization. This is bullshit.
Interesting. So the first one that we did was like Hoth, and I'm trying to remember. It was Hoth and some other stuff. And the second time we did it, it was all from the new Star Wars. It was like from the last, not Rogue One, but the one before Episode 7.
The prequels, right?
No, it was Episode 7.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm serious. So we did like, you remember at the very beginning of Episode 7 where she's on whatever, I can't remember the planet that she's on, and that's where they find the Millennium Falcon and disappear and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're essentially like, you come into that planet and you're talking to the dude, the one guy that's the stormtrooper that turns.
Finn?
Yep. You're talking to Finn, and he's like, "Oh, come with me."
Kidding me. Bullshit.
And then you chase the Millennium Falcon off of the planet, and like,
so it's like the scene from the movie almost.
Kinda, yeah. It was super cool. And then it had to do with what's the like super badass like pilot
Boba Fett?
No, from the new Star Wars. It was like I want to say Puck, but I know that's wrong, man. There's people yelling at their podcasters right now.
Why am I drawing a blank?
Yeah, I know. He's the guy that like rocks the awesome X-wing.
Poe Dameron.
Thank you.
Dameron.
Yes. Anyways, and then so you leave the first planet, which was all deserty and stuff, and then you end up in like a fight with him, and you're like essentially fighting like he's using his X-wing and shooting guys, and you're following him, and he's like essentially transporting you out and stuff. It's really cool, man. That one was super neat. We were the first one we did.
I didn't even know that footage existed. I've been seeing all this old. I swear to God, the last 4 times I've ridden that ride, it's always been the same thing. It's been freaking Hoth, which is the snow, and then Naboo, where it goes underwater with all the like undersea creatures and shit. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
That was the first one we did. The first time we did it, and we were both like, that was cool, but it was fine. And then the second one that we did it was with all the new stuff, and my wife was like, that one was awesome. Like,
yeah, so if they have those, that means there used to be 6 scenes, so I guess there's 7 or 8 now that they randomize. I really like the one with Boba Fett. That one's really cool too.
Yeah, we didn't see that one.
He's fucking chasing you in the Slave 1, and it's just got those
nice,
awesome sounding lasers from the Slave 1, and he's chasing you through an asteroid field, and it's pretty freaking awesome. Actually, it's not cool. It's not Boba Fett. It's Jango Fett, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
It's prequel because it's the blue Slave 1 or whatever. I don't know if it has the same name, but it's the blue ship. I'm pretty sure. Or I could be wrong. I haven't, the last time I saw that scene was like 20 times ago. I only get the same crappy one over and over.
So no, we did.
No, And then I saw your Dole Whip photo.
Oh yeah, we did Dole Whip like 3 times. It's so good. It's awesome.
So you had fun.
Yeah, man, it was great. We'll definitely be going back for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
I know we're planning our next big family trip. Not for, I don't know. We always say we're not going to go, and then we end up going. I don't think we're going in 2018, but definitely I think we're aiming for like 2019, because then Star Wars will be open and Toy Story Land over in Florida.
Yeah, so we totally saw the construction happening in behind. You saw all the big cranes and the beginnings of like, you could even see some of the stuff that was actually starting to like come together for a lot of it, which was pretty cool. So
when I went to E3 and I met that dude Joel who works there, I was seeing on his Facebook that he posted a photo that they had like the cast members sign like the steel beam that was going in the highest point of that park.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was neat. It was super cool.
I always get some behind the scenes when he posts stuff on Facebook every once in a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, I guess we should talk about video games, because this is a podcast about video games.
And stuff.
And TV and movies, though I don't have any TV or movies to talk about.
Oh, I actually totally forgot to mention, I totally went and saw the new...
Oh, yes. You saw Kingsman, right?
Yeah.
I saw you post about
Disney IMAX.
Ah, nice. In downtown Disney?
Yeah. It was our Friday night. We were like, oh, we're not actually going to Disneyland this day, but we'll totally go check out this movie in the IMAX. And just FYI, that is probably the most expensive IMAX I've ever been to.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it was. What did you pay, like $20 each? American?
It was like $24 each.
Wow.
We didn't know till we were there, but at that point we were like, well, all right.
Whatever.
It is what it is.
What are you going to do?
Exactly.
We're going to go home and watch TV in the hotel?
We're on vacation. It'll be fine. So
yeah. So, if you've never been here before, normally we don't rant about Disneyland this long. Sometimes we do when I go there, but usually we start the show with what you've been playing, get into some news, our public service announcements, and free-for-all section. And actually, I have a question that I got on Twitter that I'll bring up. And then, but before we even get into any of that stuff, we get into our designated drinking section, because you can't be a geekaholic without being an alcoholic. And
yeah,
I'll ruin it for everyone. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm drinking tea.
I feel like our listeners expect that from you.
Yeah, it's not surprising anymore. Dude, I've literally been sick the entire month of September.
So in other words, the PAX Pox has been very, very real for you.
The PAX Pox went away last week.
Yeah.
Or this last weekend. And then it was my buddy's birthday. And I didn't think I was drunk, but apparently I got really drunk. There was Jello shots, and I was being force-fed them. My buddy was telling me a story about how he got me my job like 20 times over. I even asked him about it, and I'm like, do you remember? He's like, nope, I don't even remember that at all. He's like, hopefully I didn't say anything that I shouldn't have said, because I don't remember anything. I'm like, good. Well, you told me the story like 20 times as I was trying to leave. I'm like, it was really annoying. But anyway, I had a bunch of Jello shooters, and I thought I felt fine, but I slept terribly, so I literally didn't sleep. So I think, like I was getting better, and then I was like, had a one night of like terrible sleep.
Oh, that'll do it, man. Sometimes that's all it takes.
And then I don't know if it just came back or if I have a flu now, because I'm more achy and sore throat, and it's just like, like it hurts to swallow, and it's so fucking annoying. And I'm so pissed off, because I literally feel like I've been sick this entire month, like low energy and just tired.
Ugh. Sorry, man. That
Yeah,
sucks.
it does suck. Like, it's so annoying. It's like, fuck off. I got shit to do, man. It's just annoying because I don't feel like myself. Yeah. That's the most annoying part. It's just like, I just want to lie down and I don't want to do anything ever.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
I'm drinking vodka mixed with some lemonade tonight. Nothing too crazy.
Dane's Hard Lemonade?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, it's tasty.
That's all right.
Some organic, what is it, like organic limeade, actually. But yeah, no, it's yummy. Little vodka in there, and I added a little sparkling water just to like kind of give it some fizz. It's nice.
That does sound nice.
Yeah.
And refreshing.
It goes down too smooth, though. You gotta be careful.
Oh, yeah, those kinds of drinks always do.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, or not the problem, what the hell? See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm drinking tea, not just tea. I'm drinking echinacea tea. So, like, you know, trying to get better tea.
Right. Not just like, ooh, this was yummy.
Yeah, not just tea. So, it is yummy, though. I actually like it a lot.
I like echinacea tea.
Jane.
Yo.
What you been playing? Oh, wait, you can't talk about what you're playing.
I can say what I've been playing.
I've been playing it, too. But it's under embargo.
But it is under embargo. Week. I'd honestly have to like pull up what I can and can't say about it.
I'm pretty sure you can say we're playing it.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. It doesn't say anywhere in there you can't say you're playing it.
No, it doesn't.
It's just a review embargo for October 2nd.
It is.
So no impressions, no nothing. We're playing BattleChasers.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to find it now. I want to know what I can or can't say.
I can remember it. You can't say anything. That's what you can say. Streaming embargo ends on Friday, but
Monday actually. Well, the streaming embargo, yeah,
which I don't understand what that means. So,
and the review embargo starts on Monday. Anyways, I've been playing BattleChasers. Just for anybody out there that's curious, I had Monday off after we got back from our vacation, and I will just say that I played 7.5 hours straight of BattleChasers on Monday. So I will let that give you an idea of what I think about that.
I have not played that much, but I have a problem.
And your problem is Destiny 2. So I will have way more impressions.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
About BattleChasers next week.
I'll try to play some more to catch up to you, so I can actually have more meaningful stuff to say about it as well. But you're obviously going to have lots to say. Yeah, I've been playing tons of Destiny 2. Well, not actually. That's a lie. To be honest, I've played the least amount of Destiny 2 this week. And that's just been because stuff's been going on, birthday parties, late nights, and yeah, I spent a couple nights playing BattleChasers as well. So I'm like, I'll take a break because I've essentially done everything in Destiny 2 except for the raid.
Oh, okay.
And or one Trials of the Nine. So I did start another character, so I already beat the game a second time with a hunter.
I thought you were going to wait till the PC version for that.
No, I'm not waiting. I'm going to do it all over again on the PC. Who am I fucking kidding? Like 700, almost 700 hours in the first game. I'm only 59 hours on Destiny 2. I'm pretty sure I can spare a little more time when the PC version comes out. Wow. I just love it so much.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know when I'll get to doing a Titan. I really want to do the raid, but getting like 4 or 5 hours, I'd have to do it on the weekend.
That's the hard thing that I always had with the raid for Destiny was knowing that I needed, okay, this is going to take us anywhere between 2 and 6 hours. And I just couldn't, like, knowing that I got to block out that kind of time is hard.
Right now with like skilled crews.
Yeah.
I think a good crew can do it. Like an amazing crew can do it in an hour.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, but we're talking like some of the like really awesome Destiny players.
Right.
Really geared out. I think good crew normal people, I think it's 3 hours.
Okay. So
maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I think that's if you're rolling through and not fucking anything up.
Right.
Most other crews I've heard are like a couple hours.
Because I mean, it took them over 6 to do it the first time, right?
Yeah, and
like 6.5 or something like that.
Yeah, but that's not knowing anything, and that's figuring the systems out. a little bit of fluke, maybe not a little fluke, but now knowing how everything works in and out, shortcuts and the nuance to all the encounters, it gets much more streamlined. I remember doing, not Vault of Glass, because Vault of Glass was really long, but was it King's Fall and Crota? I swear those could be done in under an hour.
Okay.
Once you had it down to your science, right? Like I never got into the raids early when everyone was bashing their heads on it, because I don't know, it's cool to rush into it and get it done and say you did it, but at the same time, it's like, well, why am I like rushing to finish, like do all the content, right?
Right.
When I'll be able to come back to this like in a month or so and have a funner, less frustrating experience.
Oh, for sure. Because people are going to know, like, hey, go over there, do this, don't mess this up. I always seem to have joined in with crews that really knew what they were doing and always had like a good... What you need one person that communicates well and can dictate to the other players what to do, and it always goes smooth. When you have a crew of multiple people talking and like, oh, do this, like that doesn't work because then it confuses everyone. You need one leader. Right. And you just need everyone to execute, and he needs to communicate clearly. Right. That makes sense.
And it works out really well. And it feels awesome when it all clicks. I was lucky. I didn't have many head bashing moments in raiding in the first game. So, in another, probably even now, maybe in another week or two, it'll be at that point where it's like guys have shit on lockdown, and I'll just be able to like basically walk in and just kill people.
Yeah.
Or I might save it for PC. I don't know. And do it with you guys.
Yeah,
that might be a lot harder, but
the FOMO was really hard there for a little while about wanting to get in on the PS4. Now that the initial wave has happened, I'm doing better, and I know that I've got enough things to play that I can easily finish up a couple things before Destiny 2 comes out at the end of
that's the only thing
October.
That's annoying me, is that there are other things to play and I just can't play them. It's just like, just go do this and I'll just go do that. It's so easy because it's so good.
Yeah.
But in my spare time when I'm not playing that, I've been playing Metroid Samus Returns.
Ooh, can you talk about that yet?
Yeah, it's out now.
Oh, is it actually?
Yeah, it came out the Friday after we recorded last.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's been out for a bit. I think I mentioned on the last podcast it was provided to me by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But you already know I'm a Nintendo fanboy, so whether they gave it to me or not, I'd probably have positive things to say about it. I like it. I don't remember the Game Boy version, so I don't know. I could not. That was so long ago.
Yeah,
I could not.
A little while ago.
I'd have to go dig up an article to see what's different.
Right.
Basically, Samus has gone back to planet SR. What is it? 232? Or I have my 3DS in front of me. That's if it was clicking. That's why. How do I do this? SR 388. And you're going there to eradicate the Metroids because the space pirates want to get them and use their energy stealing powers to create weapons of mass pirate destruction, whatever.
Right.
So you go there. It's your classic 2D Metroid, obviously with really cool 3D effects on the 3DS, which are amazing, and I've been using them the whole time. You have different sections of the game that I can't remember the old game, so I can't compare. So I don't know if this is how it was in the old one. Mm-hmm. Basically, the progression is gated by you have to kill so many Metroids in an area before you can open up this essentially gate that gives you more access to the map.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So there'll be so many hidden in, and they're not necessarily hidden. Early on, they're not hidden. Later on, they're hidden. And the Metroids at first are just simple Metroids, and then later on, they're actually like mutations with some of the creatures on the planet.
Right.
And they're like mini boss battles almost. And they get pretty tough. It's a tough game. I've died tons. There's no difficulty when you start. There is apparently a harder difficulty, but
is that like a new game plus when you finish, or?
I think one of the Metroids opens. There's a hard mode after you beat it, and then I think there's an even more hard mode with one of the amiibos. The amiibo actually helped make the game a little easier because you get a reserve energy tank. So when all your energy is drained, it'll refill like
one or whatever.
No, it'll refill like a quarter of your life because you can get multiple energy tanks. I think I'm up to 8. I think I'm up to 8 or 9 energy tanks.
Wow.
I have, well, according to the inventory screen, I haven't beaten it. But I have every weapon because all the little holes on the map and the inventory screen for your suit where power-ups go, they're all full. So I assume I have all the power-ups.
Wow. All right.
But yeah, the Metroids, they get pretty tough. I've died a lot, and shit, that's what I was talking about, was the energy tanks. When you use the amiibo, you get a reserve energy tank, a reserve ammo tank, and a reserve Aeon. Is it Aeon energy? Because you have these abilities. You have a shield. You have a map scan, which you probably used or saw at PAX.
Yep.
You have this powerful laser upgrade.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then you have like a time slow ability as well. And those are all off the Aeon. I think it's Aeon. I think that's how it's pronounced. Energy, which is another separate energy bar, separate from your missiles and super bombs.
Right.
But yeah, having the amiibos totally have helped because without them, I'd probably even die even more. This game's, for whatever reason, it's not that easy. It's pretty tough.
Well, I mean, games back, when the original one came out.
Well, I guess
right?
that's it. I really want to freaking look at the original game to see if, I wonder if someone's made like a comparison of the two. I just beat like a giant freaking boss. Big ass robot boss. I'm in area 7. I don't know how far that is compared, or how close it is to the end, but it seems like a pretty long game. I've been playing it for, I can't remember what my game clock says. It just keeps going and going. There's tons of weapons, tons of upgrades. It's the classic Metroid, you can only go so far, and then you find the power-up. Oh, now I can
get to those places that I couldn't get to before.
Now I can do screw attack and break through these blocks. Or now I got the higher jump, I can get through there. Right. Now I got the super bomb, I can blow up these blocks. And it seems to be there's tons of hidden stuff. Almost like every room there's a hidden upgrade of some sorts, or just hidden access to the next area of the game. It just seems like you're consistently figuring out different puzzles. Like the environment itself is like a puzzle,
right?
Because it's not a simple side scroller get from A to B. Like there's, I got a bomb, go down, sneak through this area. Oh, and that's how I get over here. Or you gotta use your Metroid when you turn into the ball, and you can actually cling on the walls. And I gotta go across the ceiling. Or I got to use my slow mechanic to run across this bridge of blocks that would otherwise like break, and I fall down into this other area.
Right. What was I going to say now? Are you finding? I completely forgot. I had a question, and I was like, I'll ask him, and now I completely forgot what that question was. Yeah. I think that was the first Metroid game that I actually beat, the original one on the Game Boy, way, way long ago. But
yeah, I know I beat it on Game Boy. I really can't. I
was going to say, are you finding the perk or one of the abilities that they added into the game that allows you to kind of like shoot like a radar out around you? Are you finding that helps with the whole getting stuck from time to time thing?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, because that is the one thing I do remember about that original game.
I think that's why they added that, because in the old Metroids, you essentially had to, like, bomb or missile, like,
sometimes you were just
certain areas,
around,
and you're like, I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. So the scan, it helps in that it's like, okay, there's an area up there, so I know I got to go in that direction. So
right,
even if you use that scan ability, it'll show you what blocks are destructible. So if you happen to be in the same area, it'll highlight them. Mm-hmm. Well, it'll highlight them, and it'll like beep for a while to give you like an audio cue that there's a destructible block nearby.
Right. Oh, okay.
And if you happen to move in the right area, you'll see it like blinking. Otherwise, if you don't see it blinking, and you can just scan again, and eventually, eventually you'll see it, and then that'll help you progress. I think it's good. It helps with not getting stuck. Some people are like, oh, it's like a cheat, but I don't know.
I feel like
for me, my time's too valuable because I'd rather have an idea where I'm going than, just wasting hours not knowing where to go. Even with that ability, there's like sections of the game you have to traverse where you have to use your abilities to figure out how to get through. Even though that ability will scan, it'll show you a rough scan of the map.
Right.
It doesn't show you how to get through like a series of tunnels that some of them collapse where you have to cling, and then you got to jump, and then you got to use a missile, and then you got to use a bomb, and you got to time it to get through this area. Stuff like that. So you still have to rely on your skills and figuring out, like I said, like the traversal puzzle of the level itself. So it doesn't like totally make it a cakewalk. It just helps with some like, oh, okay, I got to go that way, and I got to figure out how to get there. So it doesn't totally just show you the way, but it does help you with some guidance.
It helps with that whole, I'm going to run around and try and throw bombs at every single wall and hope that one of them blows up and helps you move forward. So, which I can appreciate because I feel like that is a much more respectful of my time is the thing. Like I don't have that time like when I was 14 and I had nothing better to do than play Metroid on my Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm looking at footage of the old game. They're comparing the two. And I can see it has the Metroid indicator showing you that there's 39 Metroids left.
Oh, okay.
That you got to find out. So it is definitely, it must be the same where you had to hunt them down. I just couldn't remember that. They're pretty interesting because they are, like I said, they end up being like little mini boss fights, each of the Metroids. Mm-hmm. And at first I'm like, oh, this is easy. And it's like, oh, no, this is not easy. This is tough. Oh, man, the original game looks so bad. It looks so hard.
Yeah, it's amazing how much you forget about that.
Oh, it's so slow.
Yep.
Game Explain has a video on YouTube that compares the two. I should post it in our I'm going to link it in our podcast show notes. So if you want to see what I'm talking about comparing the two games,
sweet.
You'll be able to click on that link for Metroid and you'll find the video.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I'm near the end. I'll beat it. I'm enjoying it. It is hard. I wish there was, I guess the only real complaint I have is I wish there was more enemy variety.
Right.
I feel like there's not very many enemies and they're not all that interesting, but it is a remake of an older game. And watching this video, they definitely are a bit more interesting than the old crappy ones in the original game.
Yeah, but there was not a ton of enemies in that old game.
They are the same. It's funny. They are the same creatures, though, essentially just redone.
They just look a lot better now.
You get a lot of freaking abilities in this game. Like you start out with your regular beam, and then you get like a wave beam. You get your ice beam, so you could freeze guys. Then you get like a super wave beam. And then you got your crazy Aeon upgrade, like super rapid fire. You get super missiles. You got bombs, super bombs, your screw attack. You've got that counter move, which is really handy. So, when enemies charge you, you counter them and stun them, which opens them up for, like, super damage.
Counterattacks, which you can, like, super utilize. I assume that you, like, down the road, you probably, like, that's a gameplay element you really kind of have to master, I imagine, hey?
Yeah, some of the enemies get fast, so it gets harder to counter them.
Right.
The timing changes, but if you can use it, it's so useful in terms of, because enemies are pretty tough, and if you don't kill them quickly, they seem to like to just freaking charge you, so you can get killed quite quickly. So when you counter, just basically it's not quite an insta death, but it makes such a difference in terms of just taking them out quickly.
Yeah, I like that they've added some of that new stuff to an older game instead of just essentially giving the graphics an update and calling it a day.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
it is like
modernized
literally looking at the two, it's like a huge remaster. And you should really check out this video that I linked. But anyway, it's a cool game. I like Metroid. It was the Metroid I didn't know I wanted that's here now, and I'm super happy with it. And like I said earlier, the 3D is awesome. The 3D is so cool.
I'm wondering if this is going to open up now for a remake of Super Metroid.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a freaking classic.
Like, is this kind of one of those games that they were looking to see, like, how is this going to do? Do people actually want a new Metroid game? A lot of people talk about it. They always say they want one, but are people actually going to pay for one? Let's do this, and if it does well, maybe we'll re-release some of the other Metroid games. Because wasn't there another one on Game Boy as well? I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was two on Game Boy, and then there was the Super Metroid. But it wouldn't surprise me if this opens up for if we see a Super Metroid remake, maybe even on the Switch.
We'll have Super Metroid on Friday. On Super Nintendo, on the Super NES Classic.
Well, some people will.
I'm going to talk about that more in our news when we get to it, but we're not there yet. I guess that's it for what you've been playing. I guess we can get into the news. Hey, to no one's surprise, PUBG, aka PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, breaks Steam's record for most concurrent users ever.
Wow.
Topping 1.5. Well, this news story is old now because I think I shared this while you were gone. But the record was 1.3. I've seen more recently that they've crossed 1.5 concurrent.
That's crazy.
That is very crazy.
That's a lot of players.
That's a lot of people
all playing at the same time. Wow.
Playing the best,
so that makes
most infuriating game in the goddamn world.
So that now makes them the highest concurrent game ever on Steam, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
They beat Dota 2 out. I have a love-hate relationship with this game. When I was playing it a lot and I was doing good, I was having fun, and then I stopped playing it, and then I got bad, and we had a couple matches before Destiny 2 came. I haven't played it since Destiny 2 came out.
Right.
But man, when we did so bad that I was like so angry, I was like ready to throw the game out the freaking window.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I was just like, ugh. But anyway, it's a good game regardless. I've had my fun with it. I'm sure I'll go back to it at some point. But man, that game's still just steamrolling.
That's crazy. Like it hasn't come out on consoles yet.
No, it's in early access still. It's not even a final retail product.
Yeah, exactly. Like
when it gets on Xbox, that's easily going to be another 1 million players.
Wow.
And 1 million copies, or probably a few million copies, I'm sure of it. While you were gone, Tokyo Game Show happened.
Yeah, I saw some of the stuff that came out of that.
Super crazy exciting. There was some little surprises. Final Fantasy IX is out on PlayStation 4 now.
Hell yeah.
It's just a re-release. It's not like a remaster.
I know. I was a little bummed out about that, actually.
I'm sure it's just a port that is made to work with PS4 without looking like total garbage.
That still means that I can download it and play the last Final Fantasy game that I loved, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's out now, I believe.
You are correct. It is out now.
The big news, I guess, is that Monster Hunter World's got a release date, January 26, 2018. A lot sooner than I expected. I didn't think this game was going to come out till like next fall.
Oh, you mean in North America, or is that the Japanese release date?
No, worldwide.
Wow.
Global release date.
That's awesome.
That game looks cool. I think this might be the first Monster Hunter I play.
I might be with you.
It looks really cool. I wanted to play it at PAX, but they didn't.
Speaking of Monster Hunter, just before I left, there was a Steam sale, and God Eater 2 was on sale for like 65% off.
Oh, geez.
It was only $18.
It's not too bad. It's a Monster Hunter-esque game, right?
Yeah. Frickin' Jason over at Giant Bomb was on and on about that game for a year or more, and I saw how cheap it was, and I thought maybe I'd check it out, and maybe it was a Monster Hunter-esque game with anime styling that might actually, I don't know, maybe it would be something I'd be into. So I haven't even installed it yet, but I did pick it up, so notes on that to come later.
I hear good things. I don't have time for
same.
it, so I'm not even going to fake it. What else? Zone of the Enders is coming to PlayStation, and actually is also getting VR support.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that. Now, is this
VR makeover along with enhanced graphics, new design, sound design, 4K support, and new features?
Huh. I'm trying to figure out if
Zone of the Enders
like
2.
Certain levels are going to be in VR, or like is it going to be? I'm curious what that's actually going to look like.
I don't know. I didn't look at the trailer, so
yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at a lot of that yet. So
it's just going to maybe be a small section of the game.
That wouldn't surprise me. That seems to be what they like to do here.
The new perspective. Yeah, I don't know. The Zone of the Enders games were okay. Honestly, what was it? I think I got the first one because it came with a demo for Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
I think it was the main reason most people tried this game.
I actually really liked
mechs.
the second one. The first one kind of hooked me with the mechs and the whole idea. But the first one had some pretty significant flaws, and then the second one, I thought that they really tightened it up, and like that was a solid game.
As your AC 1 to 2 leap in quality.
Totally, and I'm actually really surprised that they never made a third one. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because Hideo was off making more Metal Gear games. So yeah,
Spring 2018.
Wow. Is this going to be another spring where we're just plastered with great games? Like,
Square Enix announced a new title called Left Alive, which apparently takes place in the Front Mission world. It's got the character designer who did the art for the Metal Gear series. Can't remember his name, but all the like key hand-drawn art for the Metal Gear series.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I watched the trailer,
a very
and
Metal Gear look to it.
Yeah, there's literally nothing about that game that I know of yet. So I saw this initially and I was like, ooh, and then I need to know more. Like that's ultimately what it comes down to. Action
adventure with mechs. I don't know if it's multiplayer. They show some gameplay in this trailer at the end. Guy running around taking on some freaking mechs. Cover-based shooter.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a cross between Metal Gear and Gears of War, kind of. I don't know. We'll see. Will be interested to find out more.
Yeah, I think that's way off. But
oh yeah,
there was some other stuff. There's like a new Virtual On game. What else? Very Japanese-centric game announcements. Nothing's going to set the world on fire. I think the Monster Hunter release date was the biggest news.
Or at least some of the biggest news, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, how's your Egyptian history, Dane?
Well, it probably could be better.
Well, if you pick up Assassin's Creed Origins, you can be a tourist in Egypt.
What?
Apparently, the new Assassin's Creed has a discovery tour mode, which allows you to free roam through the areas and getting basically like guided tours of the history and environments in Egypt. It is a non-combat mode. It's a new games mode. It's not coming out until next year as an update. I believe it's free.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's like the whole environment they made of Egypt there with basically your own guided tour and history of Egypt, the buildings, the people.
It's an Assassin's Creed game with
tourist mode.
No. Okay.
Sounds cool. It's free.
Kind of a good thing. I'm curious how that'll look like. Is there going to be a free roam involved in that?
Yeah, that's what it said. You can go anywhere, and
because I can see that being a really nice way to let people that maybe aren't super into those types of games.
It looks like stuff pops up while you're like roaming around the world.
Because I could see my wife actually really liking that.
Well, I've always liked the Assassin's Creed games. Like when you're in Rome and stuff, it's like, oh, I recognize this place. And they had like landmarks that like highlighted places and gave you some lore and stuff. Mm-hmm. But to have like a mode where you can go check that stuff out, that'd be really cool.
That would be sweet.
Like it's too bad they couldn't retroactively do that for all the other games. Because they've had some like really cool environments. 2
has got some pretty awesome areas that would be pretty neat.
Yeah, like in all over Rome, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we'll start with Egypt. Maybe it'll be something they do going forward. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat idea.
So not someone. There's an update to this story. Last week, while you were gone, a bunch of hackers discovered that the Nintendo Switch has an NES emulator built in.
Yes.
And a copy of Golf, like Nintendo Golf. And the story was like, oh, this is weird. And it has motion controls and yada, yada, yada. And everyone's like, oh, the virtual console. And this is in there. Was it supposed to be in there? Was it hidden in there? Did they forget about it? It's like a dev thing. The update is that people have figured out that this is like an Easter egg tribute to Satoru Iwata.
Oh, wow.
Basically on his, not his birthday, on the day he died, July 11th, if you pull your Joy-Cons out of the Switch and do that Iwata hand motion that he would do during Nintendo Directs with the controllers, it unlocks the game. It plays a little sound clip of him, and then it unlocks the game. Why this game? He programmed this game like by himself. The entirety of it.
Really?
And yeah, it's like really neat and really sad and like really beautiful at the same time. Nintendo hasn't commented on this. Like I said, at first hackers thought this was just buried in there and they were never supposed to see it, but it just seems like it's a legit hidden Easter egg. So if you get a Switch that you don't connect to the internet and you set it to July 11th, I think it is, and you do that hand motion, which is basically like his two hands like forward, like holding the controllers not horizontal but vertically.
Right.
He's like, to you. You know how he would do that at the end of all his segments or whatever?
Yep.
It's like pretty iconic. You know what I'm saying, I think, if you've ever seen a Nintendo Direct. It's really cool. It's really neat. Obviously, Nintendo, I don't think hackers were really supposed to discover this, and maybe they're hoping it would have got figured out legitly, whether they're going to leave it in and for next year. Because if you've been connected to the internet, the internal clock on your Switch, you can't fudge it. It won't work.
Oh, really?
People have gone and gotten new Switches, like out of the box and
really?
Hand motion, and yeah, you can play golf.
Wow.
And get that little cool Easter egg, which is...
So then I wonder if on July or June 11th of next year, I wonder if you'll be able to do that and unlock it.
I think it's July 11th. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if hopefully they'll leave it in and not remove it, because it's kind of what people are saying. I don't really know the terminology, but people are saying is what they call it. It's like a charm. It's like a Japanese thing, like from shrines for people who've passed.
Well, okay.
And it's kind of like a charm for Iwata in every Switch. It's really cool. It's like a really
I think
cool,
it's neat. It's like it's like a little piece of him in every Switch.
Yeah, because I'm sure he had a huge part with the Switch, and he's had a huge part with Nintendo's image as of late. He was pretty awesome. And you know, like, he's not just a corporate man. Like, he made games.
Yeah.
You know, so he was a very cool person in the industry. It's unfortunate of his passing, because I think it was way ahead of his time. Yeah. Hey, Super Nintendo Mini teardown.
Hey, guess what? Guess what?
What?
It's using the same hardware as this Nintendo Mini.
Yeah, it's the identical board as the NES Classic.
Exactly.
So the guys at Digital Foundry at Eurogamer went, and they said almost identical main board. There might be little small changes, but they're showing photos, and I'm like, I'd be hard pressed me to tell you the difference between the two. So they're already figuring that, if it's the same board, they'll probably be able to do the same hacks everyone else was doing to the NES. If you didn't know, the NES Mini Classic, which was available last year for like 2 people out there, because most of you couldn't get it. Hackers got their grubby hands on it and figured out how to load other games and emulators. You could emulate Super Nintendo on it. Obviously evidenced by their reusing the same hardware.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can I think they loaded other systems as well. And I think you can go on eBay and you can find NES Classic Minis preloaded with like 600 games. I don't know how legal. Obviously, that's not very legal, but hey, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So
they also came out, and Nintendo, I don't know if we talked about this or not, but they've essentially came out and said that they're going to start making the Nintendo Classic, the Mini, that nobody could get a hold of.
I don't think we talked about it. I think you were gone. But yeah, next summer.
And they'll be available next summer in 2018.
Next summer, yeah.
So essentially, if you were super bummed out that you couldn't get an NES Classic, have no fear, hold off for a bit, and those should be available next summer.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to get a hold of them.
And the NES Classic Mini Super NES will be available Friday, the 29th.
Yeah. Sure.
I've heard good news. The good news is that everywhere is going to apparently have walk-in copies.
For how long? Who knows?
Probably not for long, but the NES Classic Mini, there were no extras anywhere. If you didn't pre-order, you were fucked. For a lack of a better word. This system, you have a chance. If you show up maybe a couple hours before your local EB or whatever the hell opens up, they should hopefully have some extras. Obviously, rolling in at lunchtime, you're probably going to be screwed. So maybe call your mom or your best unemployed friend and get them to go wait in line for you. I have mine pre-ordered EB, but I was really wanting to get another one.
Right.
But I don't think I'm going to be able to wait in lines anywhere. I have one at EB, and then I have the European one that I got from Amazon UK.
Oh, right, yeah.
Apparently, I still have the order. Like, it hasn't canceled, but I haven't got a shipping notice for that one yet. And I haven't got a shipping...
Well, that's...
I hope they don't cancel it, because I really want to keep that one, because it's the super... It's the European version, which is...
Right.
I love the Super Nintendo, but and the console even looks different. So yeah. I think it's cool, because it's a little different. So it's not only is it super rare, it's also different looking. So more so than the Super Nintendo, which I have a feeling is going to be not too hard to get. And there's going to be more waves of pre-orders. I've already seen tweets from retailers, like in Canada. EB Games is going to have pre-orders on more pre-orders on Friday at noon.
Interesting. Okay.
So if you're not able to get to a store, and this is Canada, well, I don't know if they ship to America. They might. On Friday at noon, they're going to have more systems available at noon, so you can pre-order.
Okay. I'm gonna
no update on. I'm just checking my UK order.
For me, it's gonna be, I think, one of those things where I will.
Oh, it's shipping.
I will call around when some stores open and see like what it looks like, and if there's, I don't know, if I just don't see myself. Unfortunately, where my work is at, there's not really any place that I can get to.
No, yeah, like who can go wait in line on Friday morning if you have a job for 2 hours? Nobody, really.
Yeah, well, it also, like, if you happen to have like a Best Buy or something that's close to your work, you could essentially wait till they open and like swing in there and see if they have any. But like, I don't. So the closest one are like 15-20 minute drive from my work. So I don't know how much my boss would appreciate if I was like, hey man, I'm gonna like cruise down here and like check out a couple stores and see if I can get a Super NES Classic. He'd be like, I
never know where I'm gonna be, so that's the problem. Like, I'd literally have to call in sick, and like, I'm not doing that. My boss would be too happy. Good news, my Nintendo Classic Mini, Super Nintendo European, says shipping today on Amazon.uk.
There you go.
Pretty stoked.
Well,
colored buttons.
Look at you and your colored buttons.
I think it's a little more expensive after the exchange. It's like 70 euros.
Right.
So I think exchange, I think it's going to be probably maybe 10 or 20 bucks more than just buying one here, but whatever.
Oh,
so enough. Everyone, you might have a chance to get one of these damn things on Friday.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully I'll win the lottery and manage to find one myself.
I think that's it for news. There was drama, and there was layoffs, and there was more racist shit going on. But you know what? I really don't care to talk about any of that negative crap. So, yeah, this is the internet, and shit happens. So,
fair enough.
We got better things to talk about.
Exactly.
PSAs. PlayStation Plus. Free games for October were announced. So we're in our public service announcement section, obviously, if you didn't know what PSA standed for. And this one's a doozy.
Dude, this is sweet.
Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Is your
PlayStation Plus
game for October. They're the main headliner. We've also got Amnesia Collection. I've never played the Amnesia games.
I haven't either.
They're horror. I don't know if they're horror puzzle or horror survival game. I've never played them before.
I don't know. They look scary.
Yeah, they are scary. Monster Jam Battlegrounds PS3. No idea what that is. Hustle Kings PS3. I think that's a pool game.
I want to say you're right.
PlayStation Vita PS4 cross-buy. No idea what that is. Skyforce Anniversary, PlayStation Vita, cross-buy with PS4, PS3.
There you go. Also, Riggs Mechanized Combat League is still available for PSVR.
I haven't had a chance to play that yet, till November 7th.
I gotta add it to my stupid list so I don't miss it.
Oh, I already did that. I think pretty sure I have it installed on my system, too.
Oh, wow.
I'm meaning to play it. I'm meaning to play more VR. But I have this thing called... Have you ever heard of Destiny 2? It'll ruin your life and stop you from playing other video games. No, it won't ruin your life. Speaking of games for October, Xbox announced their October Games with Gold.
Sweet.
It's kind of lackluster when you compare it to Metal Gear Solid 5. Gone
Which
Home
was, I think, our game of the year that it came out.
No, I think it came out the same year as Witcher 3.
You might be right. Was it 2015?
I can't remember.
All right.
I can't remember freaking shit that happened yesterday. So on Xbox One, we've got Gone Home.
Yeah.
The Turing Test. Those are both native Xbox One. Mm-hmm. And then back compatible games, 360 and Xbox One. Rayman 3 HD. And Medal of Honor Airborne.
Okay. That was a really good Medal of Honor game.
Gone Home's good. Yeah, I can't remember that Medal of Honor game, but
that was the one where you jump out of the airplanes at the beginning of the match, and you could end up in a bunch of different places. It was pretty cool.
Not a terrible lineup, but not an amazing lineup either. So we were not here last week, so we missed the announcement of Fortnite Battle Royale mode. It's free for Fortnite. It's basically PUBG in Fortnite.
There's a little bit of building. There's a little bit of other things, but yeah, ultimately,
you jump out of a flying bus. It looks hilarious. I've been meaning to download it. I think it's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Okay, so Fortnite itself
is not out.
Is in early access, but if you want to play it now, you have to pay money to play it.
You buy a Founders Pack.
But if you wait till it finally gets released,
it's free.
It's going to be free to play.
Which is going to be...
Back-ass backwards?
Well, and it's not going to be out for a while. But then this mode that they created, which is basically PUBG using the Fortnite,
free for the people who have bought the Founders Pack.
No, it's free for everybody, and it's out now. Anyone can download this. You can go download this now. It doesn't give you access to Fortnite, the regular version, but Fortnite Battle... Yeah. So you can, if you have been on the fence about PUBG and want to see what this PUBG game type is all about, you could essentially get a free preview with Fortnite and its cartoony art style and be like, oh, hey, I want more realism. I like this game mode. And then maybe you like PUBG. Or maybe you'll end up spending money and buying Fortnite proper Founder Pack to play the proper Fortnite version. I've been meaning to download this. It's on console as well.
Huh. I feel like there's too many other games that I need to play still.
So yeah, I don't know. I've been meaning to check that out. I think it literally just came out yesterday. Or maybe on Monday. I don't even freaking know. But I want to try it out because it looks kind of fun.
Interesting.
You can probably convince the boys to play it because none of them, only one of my brother-in-law bought PUBG. The rest of them didn't because they're a bunch of suckers.
Huh.
Yeah, so free for all.
Yeah.
I see you got a note here about Spawn comics. What did you do with Spawn and his comics?
Dude, I preloaded a whole ton of... I preloaded the Comixology app on my tablet before we left, and I have a ton of Spawn comics, and I started reading them all from the beginning, and I forgot how fucking good that series was. Oh, man. I read from 1 to issue 26, I believe, on the flight home and waiting in the airport and just that. And man, that if you're into kind of the darker, little more old school. I mean, there's still a little bit of the weird, mid 90s comic book ridiculousness that rears its head, but I'm kind of amazed at how how little of that ended up in Spawn, and the amount of incredible writers that came along and were involved in that book, and just it's incredible. It is honestly incredible. I'm reading through it. It's been honestly years since I read through it, and it just cemented Todd McFarlane as one of my all-time favorite comic book writers and artists. And yeah, man, if you've never read Spawn and you've been curious about it, do it. Just do it, man. It is so good. It is. It's so good. It so really is.
The guy here saying nope, who owns like 20 Spawn figures in the other room.
And you've never read the comic books.
Never read the comics, but I collected the
figures.
The figures, because I really like the figures. Speaking of McFarlane figures, I actually bought one of the Destiny ones.
Oh yeah, get you with a little. I've seen a few of those at my comic book store the other day.
Yeah, I was
looking at the Destiny ones.
I don't like the small ones. They look cooler on the internet, but they're kind of cheap looking.
Okay.
But, I got what's his name? God damn it. I can't remember his name now. Is the Iron Banner guy. Lord.
Oh, okay.
Is it not Saladin?
Wait, isn't that the Iron Banner dude? Lord Saladin?
Maybe that's what it is. I can't remember now. I'm having a brain fart. It is Lord Saladin. Never mind. Yeah, I got the figure for Lord Saladin, which is like a huge figure. It's like 10 inches.
Right.
And he's got like the big ass, like fuzzy shoulders and big ass cape.
Wow.
He looks pretty badass.
Yeah,
he looks
pretty
cool.
happy with that one.
I'm happy with that one. I saw the other ones. I had them all pre-ordered, but when I went to go pick them up, I'm like, these look really cheap and kind of crappy. Yeah, the guns don't look good. Like, and I thought they're like $30. They're like $20 in the States, and they're $30 here. And I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for not very nice looking figures. Like, I'd expect a little bit better quality.
Yeah.
Especially considering usually a $30 Transformer I buy is usually pretty sweet.
Right.
But, yeah.
Wait, if you're buying $30 Transformers, is that the Master Collection?
No.
That's what I thought. Those are like $100, right? If you can find them new. If you can find them new in the store.
If you can find them new, they're like usually around $150 now.
Oh, wow.
They used to be like $100 or like a little bit under, but yeah, they've gone up in price. Wow. They're impossible to ever find in store.
Oh, really? As soon as stores get them, they're gone?
Yeah, usually you have to pre-order those now. Well, at least around here, because the only store we have that gets them here is Toys R Us, and they're so random and sporadic, and they'll get like a handful, and the guys who are at the store every day, collectors that swing by every day, are usually the ones who'll snag them all up, and they're gone.
Oh, wow.
They're hard. Right. They're like hard to get.
Yeah.
Like I was
looking them online, and they're like $200 plus, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
The new Megatron was like they did not a reissue, but basically they did a remake of Megatron in the Masterpiece Collection.
Right.
And I think he was 170 American in Amazon Japan. So after shipping and everything, I think it would have cost me like $250 to get it, and I'm like, ugh.
So I was at the Transformers store at Universal, and they had a little gift shop. They had a Triptychon.
Oh yeah, that was reissued,
full size.
Yeah, that's from the Combiner Wars. It's I think it's like $250 or something Canadian.
It was huge, and I had to fly home, and I was on vacation, already spending more money than was smart. That was such a cool looking Transformer, man.
He's cool in terms of size, but I don't like Triptychon because he doesn't turn into a robot. He's just a big dumb dinosaur, and then he makes a shitty city. Like, he doesn't even make like his base transformation isn't even really cool. So I really wish he turned into a robot as well. Like, if he turned into a proper robot, then maybe he's just a big dumb dinosaur and a crappy looking base.
I like him. He looks cool.
He does look cool, but I just wish he had a robot form. That's all I'm saying.
All right, fair enough. it was still sweet. They had them there, and I was like, man, I totally love to buy one of these, but I got nowhere to put it, and I can't do it.
So Spawn comics.
Yeah, and then I went we already sort of talked about Kingsman.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the first movie.
I was supposed to go watch it tomorrow night.
Did you see the first one?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the first one.
Then you'll like the second one.
Yeah, I figured. It looks like more of the same. I'm kind of annoyed there's a spoiler in the trailers. Like,
well, don't say it.
I'm not going to say it. I'm just saying there's a spoiler in the trailers. The director, I've seen a story on the internet. The director was super pissed because there's like a huge reveal in the trailers that like doesn't ruin the second movie, but it probably ruins the impact of a cool surprise.
I think I know what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
And we kind of already knew that was going to happen just because certain things had already been talked about and certain people were on board and stuff. And I don't know that it really... I don't know.
I didn't know that until I saw the trailer, so it was ruined for me.
All right. Well, there you go. I'd watched a bunch of the trailers, and I don't know. I loved the first one. I thought it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. It was a fun movie.
And this one was a blast.
What would you say it is? Like a reimagination of like the James Bond style flick, but with a little more...
It's essentially like uncensored James Bond.
Yeah, but
taken to 11.
Yeah, a little more like extreme and silly, but also still...
They don't take it quite as seriously, but at the same time, man, there's so many little nods to James Bond. And yeah,
it's like
that whole movie.
Like if you let the gadgets they escalated the gadget war took it to a whole other level.
Oh, it's not just gadgets, my friend.
Oh yeah, it's action scenes and stuff too.
There are so many, especially in this movie. Trust me, when you watch it, I'm a huge James Bond fan. I own all of them. I've watched all of them. I've got the big Blu-ray collection or whatever, and my wife and we watched through all of them recently. And when I watched this particular Kingsman movie, there was a significant amount of little nods to James Bond that I was pretty surprised about. And it's great. We had a lot of fun. We like I said, we caught it in IMAX. We had a lot of fun. I mean, it's rated R. Just like the first one. They don't pull any punches. It's like I said, it's like an uncensored James Bond, but not the newer gritty James Bond, more like the older sort of fun, but still ridiculous James Bond. And yeah, this one's great. I really did enjoy it. I really did. So
yeah, it looks like a fun movie.
Fun. It's not going to win any Oscars. It's not going to change the world or anything like that. So if you're only looking to watch those types of movies, then you already know this isn't for you. So don't write in and tell me how my movie choices are terrible. I went in hoping to be entertained and to have a good time, and that's exactly what I got. And if you watched the first one and enjoyed it, I feel like you'll enjoy this one as well. So that's my take on it. I'm curious.
I'll be seeing it.
Oh yeah,
soon.
Sweet. I feel like it's easily worth seeing in the theater. It's big and it's ridiculous and it works so good on a big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can go to questions. I only have one.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Basically, Dustin wrote in and was asking whether I guess this happened while you were gone.
Okay.
Cross-platform play seemed to be on for a few hours, but of all games, Fortnite.
Right.
Between PS4 and Xbox One. Gamers noticed that people with certain name types were in their games, and they're like, wait a second, PSN names can't have spaces in them.
Right.
I didn't know that. And other weird stuff. And apparently, they realized it was on, and they obviously promptly shut it off. So clearly it's a simple
it's possible
thing to implement, and we know it's possible because PC games have PlayStation 4 games have crossplay with PS4, like PC, like Rocket League.
Yep.
I don't know what else does, but I imagine there's probably more than just that.
Here's the thing. It's possible. I feel like we know it's possible. I think that right now, we're probably going to see more PC and console crossover, especially on the Xbox One side. I think part of that is because obviously on that side they've sold a significant amount less of Xbox Ones than PS4s. So we know that there's over 40 million PS4s in the wild, and we know that there's roughly half of the amount of Xbox Ones. So if you don't have more people playing games and you have a whole bunch of people that are looking to play multiplayer games, but you don't have the numbers, a great way to increase that is to allow crossplay with PC. Obviously, I think that Xbox One would love it if you could do crossplay with the PS4, because then, of course, a huge reason why people are buying PS4s because their friends are playing Destiny and Destiny 2 on the PS4 and they want to play with all of them. So instead of buying an Xbox One, they're going to buy a PS4. That would be the single biggest reason to buy an Xbox One or buy a PS4, and it would no longer be a reason. So naturally, Microsoft would love to see that happen, because it would essentially allow a lot of people that maybe were Xbox people before to buy Xboxes or to buy into or continue to buy into the Xbox ecosystem, but still be able to play games with their friends who are maybe more into PlayStation games.
Yeah, it would stop them from switching over.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, all my friends are playing this on PS4. I'm going to go out and buy a PS4.
Totally.
But had the multiplayer the crossplay been switched on, they could stay they wouldn't have to invest in the PS4.
Right.
But like you were saying, with PS4 in the lead, it ain't going to happen. We know it's possible.
Ultimately, like it's one of those things where, as a gamer, I would love it to happen. I would love it to happen. It'd be great. It'd
fucking
be so
stupid
cool
that it's not on, but
like from a business perspective, if I was Sony, why would I do that?
Yeah, there's no incentive to, because if you turn it on, then you give no incentive for those stranded gamers on Xbox to switch over, or vice versa. It goes both ways, right? Like,
yep.
In this
I guess
generation,
the question that I have is, like, if the tables were turned and Sony was the one
Xbox
and Microsoft
would be
was
doing
in the
the
lead,
exact same fucking thing.
I have a very hard time believing that Microsoft would be flipping the switch to allow Xbox and PlayStation.
It would be the exact same thing.
Exactly, because
if you remember the 360 era, Microsoft never hesitated to mention how they were in the lead. They always poked fun at firmware updates on the PS4. They took jabs at PS4 every chance they got.
Oh, PS3, I mean, but yeah.
Or PS3, sorry, at Sony in general. Yep. You know, at least Sony's not taking jabs at Microsoft. They're not making fun of them. They're just like, hey, we're in the lead, whatever. And I don't think Microsoft would do it. To get back to your question, yeah, it was real. It happened. It was real. And it did happen. It's totally possible.
Yeah.
But because of the market we're in, Sony's, I don't know. I see it being a miracle if they ever enable it. They don't want anyone in Microsoft's ecosystem, in the Sony ecosystem. They want to keep it separate. They don't want to give anyone an incentive to not buy a PS4 and or get people on PS4 to abandon the other direction, which is less likely, but it's you know, maybe you're on the fence. Maybe you're one of those people that are looking to buy one. You're on the fence right now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe for whatever reason, you know, you've been an Xbox guy. Maybe for whatever reason you think that the UI on the Xbox is better. Not pointing any fingers at anybody. You're wrong. But anyways, maybe that appeals to you more.
And so you would rather play there, but all of your friends are playing on PlayStation 4. So now you got to ask yourself, like, do I want to play with my friends, or do I want to deal with the other thing?
To defend Brian, I'm pretty sure he has a PS4. So,
oh no, he does. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
I'm using it as an example.
I know.
Come on. But if that was the case and they were open, short of any exclusive games, because you wouldn't have a reason to buy that PlayStation 4, though, right?
Yeah, like, see, I have all the
vice
systems,
versa.
So it's too bad because, I've got friends who are playing Destiny on
Xbox One,
and I can't play with them.
Right.
But, like, okay, playing the game twice, once on PS4 and once on PC is enough. I ain't going to play it 3 times on Xbox. Though I would love to play with some of the people on my friends list who are playing on Xbox, but that just ain't gonna happen because that crossplay isn't on. So it is shitty from like a gamer standpoint, but like you said, yeah, it makes total business sense.
I see no reason for Sony outside of
there's no reason. It's just a goodwill gesture. Is all
exactly.
It is. A goodwill gesture that would cost them sales.
Yeah, probably.
Because the way the marketplace is, like you said, and like I said, to be honest, there's more PS4s out there than Xboxes. So you've got those holdouts on Xbox. It'll be like, if you give them a reason not to get a PS4, well, they won't. But if you keep it separate, they're like, they may cave eventually and pick up a PS4. And like I said, it does go both ways.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we're getting into a weird spot now where with consoles in general, where there's not that many console exclusives.
And
the
generation lines
that there
are blurred.
You have to look at like, okay, like, do I want to play Horizon and Neo and Nier, or do I want to play Halo and Forza and Gears
or whatever else,
or whatever else is exclusive on that side, and because everything else is going to come to both platforms. Destiny's out for both. Yes, there's some Destiny stuff that's only going to come out for the PS4 for right now, but we know that down the road it'll probably show up on the Xbox and vice versa. Some stuff might come out a little early on the Xbox, but ultimately the experience is going to be almost exactly the same on both of those consoles for probably 90% of the games. So you got to ask yourself, okay, what type of console am I going to pick up? Do I lean more towards some of the Japanese games with some of the weirdness and some of those exclusives that are going to come over from Japan that are going to only be on the PlayStation because the PlayStation is a thing in Japan and unfortunately the Xbox isn't? So those are never probably going to come to the Xbox? Or do you pretty much predominantly play those types of games on the Xbox that you only want to play there? And that's really the only thing nowadays separating these consoles. And if you were to also remove where your friends are playing, at least from Sony's perspective right now, there's no reason to do that. And obviously, like I said, Microsoft, they're in a position where they would love that to happen because it would really help in certain regards. Do I see that happening more with PC stuff, though, for the Xbox? It wouldn't surprise me if that opens up. I think we're starting to see some crossplay with Xbox and PC. We saw it in Gears of War, where you could play with friends on Xbox if you were on PC and vice versa. You
got Minecraft.
So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing more of that between PC and Xbox. I don't know how much of that we're going to start seeing with Sony and PC. I feel like Sony doesn't feel that the PC is sort of out to eat its lunch like the Xbox is, so they're a little more open for that. But ultimately, I don't know if we're going to really see that open up like like we would like to see.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
You know.
So yeah, back to your question from our rant.
Yeah.
It was real.
It was real. There's a little tease of the things to come. They did come out and admitted that it was real. Epic came out and said there was a screw up on their end, and apparently they were allowing the players to play, and they rectified it and shut it off.
And people
afterwards.
were kind of suspecting that maybe they did it to throw the ball in Sony's court, but
as a way to sort of say, like, hey, this is easily possible. All we got to do is flip that switch. You just say the word. We can do that. But unfortunately, Sony, like, they've been very bullish about, one, not really saying anything. And then, two, when they do say something, I'm not going to lie, they've been idiots about it. Some of the stuff that some of their PR, or not even PR, but some of their executives have said about, like, why they don't allow crossplay with Xbox and stuff has just been dumb.
Yeah.
And it just really honestly makes Sony look like idiots when they say that. I mean, I don't know. I wish they would almost just come out and say, like, yeah, we could do it, but there makes no business sense for us to do it.
Yeah.
And just be honest.
They also
about
don't
it.
want to look like the bad guys, so that's also why they don't say anything.
Of course.
So it's all up to us suspecting or theorizing, but seems like
but it did happen, and it was real.
Pretty easy theory. I think we have a show, Dan.
Yeah, I think so. We're back.
Episode 124. We're back. You went and had fun at your theme park adventure. I had fun playing Destiny and being sick. One more housekeeping note. Thank you, Brian, for sending me that Transformers card. I did not expect that. That was a neat surprise in my mail. He got one of those, hopefully it was an extra, or you just felt that you had no need for it. One of those Autobot or Transformer cards for the Drop Mix Harmonics from PAX.
Oh, yeah.
That they were giving away, that I was like, I'm not waiting in that lineup. But I hope he had extras and that he didn't just send me the only one he had. But that was really cool. Now I feel like I have to buy the game, so that's like $100 gift, potentially. It looked cool. It looked really fun. It seemed like if you had parties, that would be such an awesome thing to have. Because you get everyone like super interested in making the party mix. It looked really neat. Didn't have a chance to play it, though.
That was a weird-ass game. I don't really know what to think about
But the card has a really amazing Autobot symbol on it. And I think I believe it's the Touch, like, soundtrack or music sound sample bit. I don't even know how the hell that shit works. They're like NFC, like, cards that have, like, music samples. And you mix and mash and remix on the fly.
Right.
But yeah, thanks, dude. With that, we have a show. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It's Geekoholics at all three. And you can email Dane or I at Geekoholics, Rico at Geekoholics, or Dane at Geekoholics if you have some long-form stuff you want to talk to us about that doesn't work on Twitter. And, of course, if you have an opportunity, review, rate, likes us on YouTube, or not YouTube, iTunes, the iTunes Store, if you have that ability. If you are using an iPhone device, your fancy iPhone 8 or whatever. That would be much appreciated because that helps drive new listeners. And I think that's it. We will be back next week. No vacations, no sick days, no missing shows.
We're back.
We'll be able to talk about BattleChasers.
Oh, yes. Stay tuned for that.
Maybe we'll talk about
lots of stuff.
Maybe have a chance to play that Fortnite Battle Royale. I think I really had to do that. I feel like something else comes out this week, too. Oh, Hob just came out. Might have something to say about that. Oh. And Cuphead comes out too on Friday.
Okay, so. Fair enough.
Yeah. Until next week, I'm gonna say we're out.
Until next week.
Peace.